guys! So last week was Canadian Thanksgiving, and this is how I made my turkey GIF as a tribute to all the turkeys that are slaughtered for this day. I hope you enjoy it! I first found a reference image that I really liked and then made a quick concept of how I wanted it to look as a final piece. I then painted a rough background and added some photos, giving it a bit more of an autumn look. I didn't need this to look great because I was planning to blur it out anyway. I started with a rough concept blocking of the animation, then quickly realized that I had too much going on for such a short loop, so I toned down the movement for the second blocking. The next step is to clean up the line art and add color to the animation. Animating in different layers can help allow for more freedom in the loops, and I will show more about this later on. I will also show how I made different color variations or layers of colors without having to draw them frame by frame. For a typical autumn day, I also added a bit of rain for atmosphere. I brought in all the layers of my animation into After Effects and looped all the elements. Here you can see how the different layers can help offset loops. This can be really helpful if you don't want to make it too obvious that you are looping your animation, in a film for example. You can also loop the animation layers at different speeds for variation, as you can see here with the rain. For blurring, I love to use the camera lens blur in After Effects. It gives a really nice bokeh effect in contrasted parts of the painting. Make sure to turn on repeat edge pixels to avoid faded edges when blurring. For the overlay elements, I also blurred them as needed. For the tail overlay, I duplicated my animated tail, made it a single frame, and then changed the color to a dark one just to give it more depth. I then blurred it out as well. For the lighting, I really wanted it to be a warm backlit feeling, and I achieved this by using the inner shadow in After Effects, changing the color to a warm, bright color, and changing the blending mode from multiply to linear dodge. And of course you can try out different blending modes to see what fits your animation best. I did this for every layer without having to animate it frame by frame, making the turkey look a little bit more three-dimensional. For more depth, I blurred out the tail and body layers as well, and just kept the head in focus. I also added a glow to the turkey by duplicating the layer, adding a color overlay using the same color as the highlights, and then blurring it. You can also add shadow by duplicating the character's composition, putting a darker color overlay onto it, and then masking out a shadow area that you want on your character. I used a window-ish shape for this shadow. As usual, I went to town with lens flares and dust using stock footage, but of course you can make these in After Effects as well. For the light rain in the background, I used After Effects' CC Rainfall. I then pre-composed all the layers and added a color balance, tweaking the colors to become more of a warm autumn tone. And lastly, I added some grain to the animation just as a cherry on top. Thanks so much for watching! I really hope you enjoyed it, And remember that with every meal you can choose to not support animal cruelty and death. So if you're able to, please choose to live a more plant-based or vegan lifestyle for your health, for the planet, and most of all for the animals. There are some really great alternatives to turkey and any other meat really, and there's always a way to veganize your favorite meals with plant-based meats, milks, cheeses, and butters. I will link to a really great video below on more information on farmed turkeys. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye!